worry. The other one was going to be handed out. All right, here, how's your weekend? Here, how's your weekend? It was good? Anybody do anything exciting? Someone with a silent hand? Maya, what did you do? Went to a baby shower. Wait, was it in this class or last week I made you guys think that I had a baby? But in reality, because I said that I was going to go to Florida and I was going to meet my baby. But it was actually just my cat. Alright. Is everything passed out? Alright, then we gotta move on. Please sit down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I went to that one, that
The Nickelodeon thing here? That's pretty cool. Okay. Alright, so. Alright. Good morning, class.
Good morning.
Let's try that again. Good morning, class.
Good morning.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys all had a great weekend.
No. Yes.
If you did, good job. If you didn't, we have next weekend to try again. I'm going to restart the class. I'm going to reset the class. If you are talking while I'm talking, you will receive negatives. If you keep on doing it, you're just going to leave my classroom. Okay? I know it's exciting because we're about to have a very long weekend, but we need to get down to business this week. Okay? We have a lot to do. Specifically in the outsiders. Okay? Yes, sir. That is, I'll answer that question when the time comes. Why are you guys still standing up? Say cool. It's going to be a negative then. Okay. So if you guys remember, on Thursday, we read a part of The Outsiders where Johnny and Daddy are in the hospital. Somebody with a silent hand, tell me what is going on in that scene. Why are Johnny and Dally in the hospital? Yes, Maya.
Because like right what he was saying, it caught on fire, and then somebody stayed on Johnny, said that they was burnt and all that, and then it was fire, set them up.
So, let me get this straight, Maya. So they're out here just trying to get away from, put it away. So Johnny and Dally, or Johnny's trying to get away from this crime that he just committed. And what was the crime again? Kiana? He killed Bob, right? And why did he kill Bob? There's got to be a good reason why he killed Bob. Is that it? To protect himself from what? From the socks. So, that seems weird. The socks and the greasers fighting. But is that really weird? Why is that not weird? Because, let me ask you a question. And this question is very important. Because if you are incapable of answering this question, then I'm questioning if you haven't even read the book. What is the central conflict of the story? The Outsiders.
Okay.
Sorry, Khalil, that's going to be a negative. Say Ku, that's going to be a negative. Say Ku, step out. We're not doing this. Step out. Go. Step out. Go to the dean's office. Yes, what is the central conflict of the story? The socks and the greasers do not like each other. Precious, what is the central conflict of the story?
I feel like the central conflict of the story
And I completely agree. There are different conflicts, but what is the main central conflict that develops everything else?
The socks and the greasers and well, they're in two different groups, so they don't like each other.
Yeah. The socks and the greasers don't like each other. And just the simple fact that the socks and the greasers don't like each other, how many other conflicts have arisen? Ishmael, I know you said it, but I need to see if other people understand. Okay. So what we're going to do today is we are going to go back into pages, what was it, 117 or 125, when we see Johnny and Dally at the hospital. Johnny and Dally.
I think so, Johnny dying.
No, Johnny and Dally. And during this whole situation, and during this whole scene, a very important theme gets developed. To somebody with a silent hand, want to tell me what developed means again? What do we mean by developed?
That's annoying. Stop.
Hey, that's going to be a negative. Amaya,
That's not like this.
Amaya, what do I mean by developed? To develop something.
Wait. Like, I don't know, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. I'll come back to you. Will.
Development means to build.
Yeah, brain matching, would you agree? Okay, yeah. If you guys remember, on last Thursday, we went over what develop means. And in this specific scene, a theme gets developed. So we know develop means to grow. Guys, what is a theme? What is a theme of a story? Wait, someone with the silent hand, I'm sorry. Malachi. A lesson learned? You got it. You got it. No, raise your hand. I actually want to hear what you have to say. Yes.
I mean, like, a lesson, well, of course the lesson is like really learned, like the thing that outside is to be like something else that is
So let me ask you about the theme of a story. Does the theme of a story, does it always have to be a good thing?
No.
No, it can be a bad thing as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna learn something bad.
Exactly. But with learning something bad comes with
Learning something good.
Oh, that's my fault. Like, I didn't say that.
Do you need a reset then? Okay, so let's bring you back up here in 3, 2, 1. Ishmael, step out. I'm not going to have you disrupting my class. Okay, so first thing is first. Before we do any reading, what do we do? Before we do any reading, what do we do? Read the questions, right? And if we have a packet, what are we going to find on the packet? The exit ticket, which is our focus question, right? So the first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to read the focus question. And if you guys have seen how this class is structured, the focus question is usually the exit ticket, right? So when we're reading the focus question before we read it, we know exactly what to annotate for, so we know exactly what to write in our exit ticket. So first things first, Davion, please read me what the focus question is on the packet that starts with how does Hinton's characterization? Nope. Wrong type. So what was it? How does what? Hinton's. You know what? There's just a few words we need to key on. How does Hinton's, everybody has it in front of them. In order to unpack the prompt, we have to focus in on some key words so we know exactly what to answer. Everyone take a look at the key question or the focus question / the prompt and tell me what a key word is in that prompt. Characterization, correct. Guys, also, all these notes that I'm taking, you can also be taking them right under the focus question. Characterization. What do I mean by characterization? Yes. You need to write it. That's going to be a negative because I already asked. Yes. Malachi. What do I mean by characterization? Huh? Characterization.
Characterization is like how, like, your character is
Yeah, you're on the right path.
how, like, someone has to look at you.
Perfect. Okay. Characterization is what a character does or says. And how other characters react to them. So characterization, what a character does or says, and how other characters react to them.
Why do you say what like that?
Okay. So we're talking about characterization. Who specifically are we going to talk about? Amir. Johnny and Dally, right? So everybody just circle Johnny and Dally in their prompt. I'm this close to stopping my class and looking at football. If you're going to come back to your seat. Huh? Aiden. Say two. Okay. So everybody, please take out. Everyone, please take out the outsiders and turn to page 122.
You said what page?
121.
Oh my Jesus. Okay, so why do you, listen, notice what page? Why do you hate now?
121. All right. So if we're looking for characterization, aka what a character does or says, and we're going to be annotating, what does that kind of sound like? DDAT, right?
Yeah.
What is the purpose of annotating for DDAT? anybody remember what the purpose for annotating for you guys is? Dialogue is part of it, right? So there's dialogue,
Description.
description,
Action.
someone said it?
Me.
Action,
And thought.
and thoughts. Good job. So what is the purpose of annotating for these things for a certain character? What is the purpose of it? Anyone? Yeah, it allows us for characterization, yes. Well, why do we do it?
To get to know the character.
Yeah. We do this so we get to know the character. But the thing and the beauty about The Outsiders is that we keep thinking that we know a character, but then something happens in the book, or the plot develops to the point that their character changes, right? Like for example, Dally. Dally, when we think of Dally, what's the first thing we think of? Tough guy, right? Huh? T-O-U-G-H, tough. Hey, put it away. Put it away. Let you draw it. Good. I want you. Okay. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go back into the book and we're going to see how Johnny and Dally's characterization, what was it? How it develops a theme in the novel. So first things first, we need to read, and after we read, we need to develop a theme. All right, so everyone turn to page 121. Okay. Ishmael, do you want to do it in here or do you want to do it in the dean's office? Ms. Choice, when you head out, can you possibly take Ishmael to be with us? 121. All right, are we all turning to page 121? Okay. So on page 121, we are going to, what are we going to do? Aiden, with your loud voice, tell us what we're going to do on page 121.
Other are details that characterize Johnny that show what
And what is characterization again?
what a character does or says and how other characters react to it.
Okay. So continue.
Explain what the details show about Johnny.
Okay. So the reason that we read the focus question is so that when we go into the book and read, we know exactly what to annotate for. We're going to underline details that characterize Johnny, and we're going to explain what the details show us about Johnny. When you're doing this, keep in mind the character development that Johnny has gone through. He has gone from what type of character to what type of character. And as you think about this, keep in mind, what is the theme? What is the development of his characterization? What does it say about the theme? What is the theme? Okay? Well, we'll talk about this after we read, okay? So everyone, on page 121, start reading from I Sat Down. Everyone find it? On page 121, I Sat Down. But you get a thumbs up once you found I Sat Down. And keep them up. Keep them up. Jazz, you found it? Jamira? Where's your book? Yeah, 121. You have the outside with you? You have the books with you? Take your name down. Aren't you the team captain? Okay. Yes. Tissue, yeah, go for it. Okay. So, from pages 121 to 122, or from I sat down to passed out cold, we are going to read for 5 minutes. We're going to underline any details that characterize Johnny, aka that shows what he's like, and explain what the details show about Johnny. Okay? All right. You have 5 minutes. Please begin. Excuse me, we're at level 0. Thank you. We have 2 more minutes remaining. To do your work. think she's fine. Did you leave her taken? We have 15 seconds. 9 seconds.
That's 15.
All right, cool. All right. So, yes, sir, you can go. In this section, or from what we just read, what are some details that characterize John? First of all, what is even going on in these pages? What's going on? Someone give me a quick summary.
Well, right now, Johnny is in the hospital with the fire, and right now, Pony Boy is visiting him.
Pony Boy's visiting him, okay?
Pony Boy is a little bit upset, and it said that Johnny was thinking and talking about him killing himself and stuff like that.
Okay. So, we have a greaser. A typical greaser. And he's talking about killing himself. Does that seem very tough to you?
No.
So what does this say about Johnny's character development? He's weak, right? He's depressed. How do I know he's depressed? He wants to kill himself. So let me ask you a question. In the book, in the passage that we just read, Hinton says that Johnny suddenly went white. What does Hinton mean when she says that Johnny suddenly went white? Is that here?
Got pale.
He got pale. Why did he get pale?
Because the emotions are out of him.
Hey, guys, remember? We need to raise our hands. So let me set the standards real quick. If you want to talk, raise your hand. If you want to add on, you know what to do. Okay? And we're using habits of discussion, and participation is great today. Okay? Yes. Jess. He wanted to shop. So, I'm going to leave something to you to keep in mind as we keep on going. So, for God knows how long, socks and greasers have been in this horrible fight with each other. Right? They've been fighting for so long. For what? Wait. Jazz, I wish you would have raised your hand, but please repeat what you just said.
They don't remember why it started.
They don't even remember why it started. And look what has happened. Look what has happened. Amir, raise your hand. Amir. All right, sorry. Amir, what did you say? They're fighting for no reason. So, we're fighting for no reason. Aiden.
I think they started fighting because.
Wait, restart using habits of discussion.
In my opinion, I think they started fighting because they're fighting over territories. They're fighting over a bunch of stuff. They're fighting for girls and they're fighting over cars.
Maya.
Okay, I kind of wanted to like disagree with Amir kind of, because he's in the fair fighting for no reason, fighting, they just don't know what the reason was. So why are they still fighting?
So they completely forgot as to why they're fighting. What does this say about their violence? Okay, so I'm gonna restart the class again. A lot of you guys have very good things to say. For example, you just had something very important to say. But I have to ignore it because you didn't raise your hand. So please, let's try this again, and if you have something very important to say, just raise your hand. Khalil, please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yes, Khalil. So their fighting is unnecessary. So can we start to think, or can we start to develop, or start to realize a theme that is developed in the story? So keep that in mind as we keep on going, all right? What is the theme that is being developed? They're fighting, it's unnecessary, but people are still getting hurt, right? What did you just say? And this is the problem. You didn't raise your hand. It's okay. It's okay, it's not the correct answer. So Amaya, please, it's the last time I do this. Please raise your hand if you have something to say. Even if it's wrong, it's okay.
So it is wrong.
There are no wrong answers. Yes.
Like nothing gold stays, I don't know.
Nothing gold can stay. Where is that from? Nothing gold can stay. Genesis. The poem, right? So you see how everything's circling back to each other. There is a common theme in the book. There is a common conflict. There's an overarching conflict. And guess what? There is a main theme of the story. And it circles back to that poem that we read from Robert Frost. All of this violence is occurring to what avail?
Nothing.
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 Where's Johnny? He's in the hospital, right? Where's Johnny? Someone with a silent hand. Naya, where's Johnny? Where's Dally? Silent hands. Kiana. Okay. So we have Johnny and Dally in the hospital. Yet Dally gives himself out to be this tough greaser. And now look where he is. Is he so tough now?
Oh, no.
He's somewhere, as Kiana said, he's somewhere in the ER. But is he so tough now? Face forward. All the way. Yes, Sean. Okay, Jasmine.
If they don't know what they're fighting and they're still fighting, and it's unnecessary, why is it so unnecessary?
Anybody want to answer that for her? And I want to practice this something. I don't want to be part of the conversation anymore. She asked a question, you answer her question, so you look at her, okay? I don't want to be part of the conversation. Look at her. Pick on her. He has a question for you.
You said why they're doing it, right? Because it's unnecessary.
Okay.
It's unnecessary.
What was your question again? Because I forgot.
I said, if they're still fighting and they don't know what they're fighting, it's unnecessary. Why are they still fighting?
Because it's a really long game board and like it's like this thing that still goes on and on.
Oh.
Like, so, like,
I don't want to be part of this anymore.
Precious. So
I feel like they're still fighting because, like, I feel like it would be all over right now, but because of, like, what people say, like, their history and what they're going through, I feel like they can't move on from that, especially since
Johnny killed, but also now they're just like, what's the word?
Obligated?
Exactly.
Sorry, that's the last thing I was saying.
They're determined to get them back, so like, they probably, I feel like if they didn't stop, if bad things didn't stop happening to each other, then they would have stopped, but after Bob died, I feel like that's what started it all back up again, because I feel like things were starting to get better, but then they turned for the worse, and now,
I have a fear this is happening.
right.
I'm not part of this anymore. If you want to choose somebody precious to add on, you can choose, but I don't want to be part of this anymore.
I agree with you, said Precious, but I also think that.
Wait, Zaire, is Precious over here or is Precious over there?
I agree with you, said Precious, but I also think that the reason why they're still fighting is because they acknowledge each other's strengths and they feel like they can put their anger on them just because they feel like they can handle it.
Wait, if you're confused, shouldn't you ask what
I have a question.
Hey, wait, Zaire, stop right there. Genesis, is raising your hand and saying I have a question the appropriate way to ask? So Zaire, when you see a silent hand, please choose them, okay?
I think the reason they keep going back and forth is because they keep doing like things to each other, like they keep going back and forth, so they keep fighting each other.
Choose someone.
I want to go to what Precious said. I have a feeling that I've seen these people go like back and forth with each other in the driveway stuff because if you stop, as Sharon said, they kind of have like no emotion. And so it's like they enjoy like beating up the research and stuff, and they do it for entertainment. And because of that, the reason because they have like a lot of emotion, they want to get back at them. So it's like they're back and forth between people.
So let me ask you guys something. What is Pony Boy starting to realize? Sean? That they are more similar than they are different. This sounds like an exit ticket question that we did earlier, right? Are you starting to see that we do everything for a purpose in here? Because you know what I'm going to ask you next? And in the next, I'm going to start talking about typical greasers. You guys remember the conversation that we had about typical greasers?
Yes.
So can we say right now, is Pony Boy starting to prove that he's an atypical greaser?
No.
Maybe, right? Well, we'll see, because in that next section, we're going to read about the Rumble. Has anybody gone to the Rumble yet?
I didn't call it Rumble.
There's going to be a big fight going.
It's all they actually have.
Okay, so. All right, beautiful. We're going to discuss that. Now what I want you to do is turn to page 124. Page 124, let's go. 124. All right, now find the part where it says Dowling was arguing. Once you have found that part, put your thumbs up. Okay. All right, so Naya, can you please read me what we are going to annotate for?
Underline details that characterize Dowling that shows what he is.
So, Naya, which character?
Dowling.
Are you sure it's not Johnny?
Johnny.
How do you know it's not Johnny? Because it says it right here, right? Okay. And what are we going to do with Dowling?
Explain what the details show.
You don't quite understand the question? So let's work through it. What do you not understand about the question?
Like, how is it?
So how is this like according to, oh, never mind, got it.
Okay, so just a quick clarification of the focus question. How, the characterization, what are Johnny and Dally doing or saying that are developing a theme in the novel? First of all, what did we just talk about a potential theme in the novel? We're talking about violence and what comes from it, right? So now, do you have an idea for us?
Oh, God, the actual the
No, do you have an idea for us?
oh, like what you said, I think what you said for that.
Okay, yeah, yes. Jazz?
Nothing gold stays meant to be dark.
Okay, so I agree with that, but you're not using your own words. You're using Robert Frost words.
Nothing light stays but in darkness.
Okay. All right, I don't think we're ready for it yet. All right? So from Dally was arguing to a mood like that, we're going to read and we're going to underline for Dally. Anything that Dally says, does, or thinks, it's going to allow us and it's going to help us to develop a theme. All right? So you guys are going to have 5 minutes to read pages 124 to 125. And I see everybody's books open on page 124. Leah. Come. Open your book. Oh. All right.
Excuse me.
You guys have 5 minutes. Go. 50 seconds remaining. Little shout out to Precious, who is taking a copious amount of notes, getting herself prepped up for the exit ticket. Shine on you, Precious, that's going to be 2 positives. Shine on Aiden for taking good notes. And Genesis. Okay. So, what's going on? What's going on in the book? What happened? Yes, Niall. So, sorry, please repeat it one more time in a form that's a little bit more clear. Can't hear you. Try again. No. Start from the beginning. Hey, it's okay. Just project your voice. He's glad that he. Okay, you want to add on? All right.
So, I wanted to know about the incident. Because, yeah, kind of visit all that how, like the characteristics, that's what I'm talking about, right?
Characterization?
Characterization. Basically, is if you show that Dally is actually one of the tougher creatures, but he doesn't get, affected by things easily, and how only for you, he doesn't like Dally, but actually felt like that Dally was actually his friend for once.
So what are some things in the book from what you just read that show me that Dally doesn't care? That show me that Dally is a typical greaser.
Okay, on page
Wait,
one-
sorry.
It should actually.
Over there. Yes.
On page 124, it says
124?
yeah. Where is that? It says Dally was usually, Dally was usually mean or himself. If you look at, and also it said only last week Tim Shepherd had cracked 3 of his ribs, but Dally kind of showed it off and didn't care because Dally was one of his friends that did that with him, so he's not really affected by certain things.
So I'm going to remove myself from this conversation again. Amaya?
He's also talking. He's like the typical wizard of age 125.
Aiden? Can you hear you?
That is typical wizard because on page 125 it says he said that was we gotta fight. He said we gotta fight. We gotta win that fight tonight. His voice is hard. We gotta get even the results. That shows how he wants to get up the hospital and fight.
Okay, so I want to shine on Aiden real quick because he gave his evidence, and what did he do right afterwards? He explained his evidence. So one thing that we do in writing is that we always write how we talk, right? So if we change how we talk, we're going to change how we write, right? So good job, Aiden. Let's kind of model our responses like Aiden's, okay? We give the evidence and we explain it. Just put it into your own words.
detail what's going on.
So what